Hello, you're welcome once again to New Focused Approach to Mathematics Basic 7. And this is the revised edition. In this video, we want to learn how to compare and order common fractions. Now, comparing and ordering simply means we want to look at which of the fractions is the greatest or the least. And then when we have two or more, or let's say 3, 4, 5 fractions, we look at how we can arrange them in order of magnitude, either in ascending order or descending order. Ascending order means we are in the least and we are climbing to the highest. Descending simply means we are in the lowest. We are in the highest and we are going down towards the least. Now, two things need to be taken note over here. When we have two fractions and we want to compare them, we can decide to move all the two fractions to have the same denominator. Okay, for example, I have 2/5 here and 3/5 here, and I have these two bars, they are of the same length. The first one is divided into 5 and I've shaded 2. Second divided into 5 and I've shaded 3. And you can see obviously that the one shaded with the 3 is the biggest fraction. Okay, because that one is biggest. So I'm assuming the shaded one is a fraction. So 2 out of 5 and 3 out of 5 means the greatest is the one with the 3. Let's also look at it with different denominators but the same numerators. This time around, I still have the same length for both diagrams. But the first one, I have divided it into 5 and I've shaded 3. Second one of the same length, I've divided it into 4 and I've shaded 3. And again, you can see that the one divided into 4 with the same numerator will have the biggest fraction. So here, this is bigger than this, right? And so what we are saying is that if the numerators are the same, the one with the least denominator becomes the biggest fraction. Other way around, if the denominators are the same, the one with the biggest numerator becomes the biggest or the largest. So take note of that. Okay, so here you can see that I have the same length and I've divided first one into 8. I've shaded 5. Second into 8, I've shaded 7. So obviously the one with the biggest numerator is the greatest. So you're going to use this idea to handle questions. For example, I have ordered the fractions here: 3/8, 5/12, 2/6 in ascending order. That means I want the least to come first, okay, followed by the next, and then the biggest goes to the last. So how do we do this? The easy way out is to move these numbers or these fractions to have the same denominator, so I can now compare their numerators. In doing that, I need to find the LCM for 8, 12, and 6. You can know this. I mean, we've done this before in our previous videos, how to find the LCM using the prime factors. So go ahead and do that and then generate your prime factors. Okay, and if you do that nicely, you realize that your LCM will be 24, right? So if the LCM is 24, now what we are going to do is that you are going to ask yourself, what will I multiply by the denominator here to give me the 24? And that's going to be 3. So what we'll do is that you multiply by the same 3 to the numerator as well. Okay, so whatever is done to the denominator, the same thing will be done to the numerator. But you first have to check the one that will make it get to the LCM. So here we have 5 and 12. What time 12 will give us 24? That is 2. Then I'll multiply the same thing 2 here as 2. Well, of course, this one will give us 9 over 24. And this one will give us 10 over 24. Then the last one, again, we do 2/6. 6 times 4 will give us 24. So the same thing will be done also over here. So here we are going to have 8 divided by 24. Now when you compare these numbers, you see that the one with the biggest numerator, which is 10, is the biggest, okay, is the biggest of all. So if you are doing ascending, then the least, which is this one, should be first. So 2, 6, followed by 3, 8, followed by 5, 12s or 5 12s. So in order of ascending, this is how you will arrange this fraction. Beautiful. Now let's try another example and see. Now we have 3 fractions. Once again, we want to arrange them in descending order. So with the descending order, let's have our 4 on 7, 2 thirds, and 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. Right. So once again, the question is, what is the LCM for 7, 3, and 6? 7, 3, and 6. The LCM will give you 42. Okay. So if it is 42, then the question is 7 times what will give me the 42? 7 times 6 will give me 42. Then the same thing will be multiplied here, and that will give me 24 over 42, right? Then again, 2 thirds. What times this will give me 42? That will be 14, right? So again here to be 14. Then multiply, we have 28 divided by 42, right? Then again we have 5 divided by 6. So 6 times 7. Okay, so we put 7 also over here. 35 divided by 42. Okay, now we have the same denominators. What will be the greatest of all these fractions? And that is going to give us 35, followed by 28, followed by the 24. So the greatest is 5, 5, 6. And we want to arrange this in descending. Descending means the greatest must come first. So 5 on 6, followed by 2 thirds, okay, 2 thirds, then followed by 4 sevenths. So this will be the answer for that. Great. Right. Let's do the last example. Arrange these fractions in descending order. Again, in descending order. So again, we have 5 on 9, 7 on 12, and 2 thirds. Right. So what will be the LCM for 9, 12, and 3? 9, 12, and 3, if you go by the method that we've learned already, you are going to have 36 as your LCM. So 9 times what will give us 36? Of course, 9 times 4 will give us 36. So we multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same 4. And that is going to give us 20 divided by 36. Then this one too, we are going to say 7 divided by 12. 12 times what will give us 36? That's 12 times 3. So the same 3 here. And that will be 21 divided by 36. And the final one, we have 2 thirds. So 2 thirds. So 3 times, 3 times 12 also give us 36. So we multiply here 2 by 12. Then once again, we have 24 divided by 36. Right. So now we do the comparison. The greatest is the greatest of the numerator becomes the greatest fraction. Okay. All right. So and we are to arrange it in descending, meaning that the bigger one to come first. So the biggest one among them is 2 thirds. So 2 thirds come first, followed by 7 twelfths, followed by 5 ninths. So that becomes the order of magnitude with this particular fraction in terms of descending. With this, we come to the end of this lesson. Thanks so much for watching.